What is up everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we're taking a look at HBAR, and HBAR is actually soaring along with our trade. If you remember the last HBAR video, we were talking about potential entries right here on the 0.382 Fibonacci level, and that we were actually looking for a breakout past this level right here. So if you missed this trade right here with this entry, then what you can do is try and find a potential entry once we break above this level right here, the 0.236. I think that's going to be a pivotal area as well for HBAR. As for our trade, it's currently running in roughly 18% unleveraged profit with 10x leverage. That's nearly 200% profit. XRP is also absolutely soaring. It's hit our next target with 20% profit, now at 26% profit. Really good trade here on XRP. It doesn't look like it's slowing down at all, and it's just continuously soaring. It's like the two coins with very similar logos, a black background and white lettering. They're practically the only coins that are really soaring in the market. Like if we take a look here on the right, you'll see Bitcoin is up 0.5%, Ethereum up not even 0.5%, some coins even struggling to get up 1 to 2%, whereas these coins are up nearly 10%. So really good stuff to see there. Bitcoin dominance is also slowly starting to drop off. This is going to take some time, and I think the main drop off is going to happen obviously after the 20th of January, which is when Trump comes into office. Now, as we were speaking in many of the videos, this is going to be the biggest day, I think, at least of Q1 in 2025 for crypto and the entire market as a whole. Because for crypto, it's the single biggest day where the stock market is also closed, so all eyes are going to be on crypto and Bitcoin. And it's also a really huge day because it's one of the first times in history, or I think the first time in history, where a president that is pro crypto is coming into office. So yeah, that's going to be really good to see. Bitcoin obviously had the manipulation phase here a few days ago. We've since come back up, and we're trading or trending back up towards the 20th of January. So it'll be interesting to see how we react on the weekend leading up to that. Now, as for HBAR, what are we going to be doing with the trade? Well, as you know, we don't really like to take a lot of risk, and when we do take the risk, we like to mitigate it as much as possible. So we've already been setting our stops in profit for HBAR. For example, current stops are roughly at 8% profit right here with these candles. So if HBAR does decide to just crash back down immediately, we'll still have secured roughly 80% profit on 10x leverage, and those who entered with more leverage like 20x will be at like 150-160% profit secured. Now, our first initial target was the 0.236 area right here for roughly 20% profit. Then our next target is going to be here at 39 cents for roughly 50%, and after that we're just going to let the trade run with stops high in profit. We might even add a trailing stop loss and then just let it ride out essentially into the abyss, or and try and get it to the all-time high of like 60 cents, which in that case would result in the trade being like 150% profit. Now again, the key things that are really going to be sort of holding back HBAR or allowing it to thrive is going to be mostly Bitcoin dominance, although it doesn't really seem to be affecting altcoins like HBAR or XRP. If you're quite new to crypto, then you'll probably not know, but in 2021 during the bull market, we had coins like XRP, HBAR, Quant, which is also another coin we should probably add to the watch list because it's quite a similar sort of coin, where in the case of moving with the market, it actually moves slightly weird, where the market might not be pumping as much, but these coins are always pumping. Like you can see Quant up 6%, HBAR 7, XRP nearly 7 as well. So these coins move quite impractically, which is a bit weird. Although I'm not a big fan of Quant, I've never really have been, and I mean you can see why from the chart. Like for the better part of 2 years, we've not really had any major price action. Like we've dropped significantly, and we've not risen at least to the highs, not necessarily the highs of 2021, but even the highs of 2022 during the bear market. So we've not even reached those highs. Whereas with XRP, for example, we've soared past the highs of the 21 bull run. At HBAR, we're nearing the highs of the 21 bull run. Like a lot of these coins, and they're way past sort of expectations, whereas Quant is still lacking behind significantly. And that's why I'm mostly looking to take trades on these coins that are really outperforming the market. And the reason for that is they're much easier to trade. Like for example, XRP, during this entire market crash, it didn't crash that significantly. Although it crashed, you know, roughly 8 to 10%, the crash wasn't that deemable on the chart. Like if we take a look at Sui, for example, Sui is not a good example because it's also performing really well. But if we take a look at, like, you know, here Render, it went from $12 to $7. If we take a look at another coin like Polkadot, it went from $11 to $7 as well. AVAX went from $55 to $37. All these coins had significant repercussions from the crash, whereas these coins are already back nearly to those highs during the bull market phase, as we now enter a different stage of the bull market. So it's really good to see, and these are really the coins you want to be trading on. You know, holding long term is slightly different. Like for example, you wouldn't really want to enter, you know, XRP at $2.29. This yearly high was at like $2.90, whereas with Polkadot, for example, it's a lot more attractive to enter a position at like $6.30, $6.70, when you can easily just try and target $12, like a 2x. Same goes for AVAX, Render, and Solana, and other altcoins. So in that sort of sense, it's easier to spot trade those coins, whereas these coins, it's harder to predict those highs. Although they might do a 3, 4, 5x simply because of their strength, it's really hard to really judge exact levels that we can sell at. And that's why I understand entering positions at, you know, these other altcoins. Whereas futures trades, we can really easily enter these positions because they're strong coins, which means our stop losses are very unlikely to get hit unless it's, you know, a really unlikely case like a war starting or some sort of news that affects the coins like that. And yeah, it just allows us to ride the trade sort of risk-free. Now, another thing that would really hold HBAR back is, again, Bitcoin. So as you know, when Bitcoin was dumping, so was HBAR. Like for example, Bitcoin went from 102,000 on the 7th of Jan down to 90,000. Take a look at HBAR on the 7th of Jan, you'll see it also went from like 32 cents, was trying to break out of this sort of pennant here, and it went all the way back down to 26 cents. So again, these crashes do happen, and it's mostly controlled by Bitcoin. However, these, you know, huge pumps are also amplified. Like Bitcoin, although pumped from 90,000 to 97,000, which is nearly 10%, HBAR went from 25 cents to 30 cents, which I think is actually slightly more. Let's check this. Yeah, like a 2x, so 20%. And that's sort of the trade we hit. So if we were to enter Bitcoin at this level, we would have gotten 2x less the potential profit, which is really quite significant when you think about it in those terms. So the way I'm really going to be viewing HBAR over the next week or so is seeing how it's going to react to the 0.236 area, you know, this sort of entire range. It's already slightly resisting this area. If we go into like a 1 hour chart, you can see it isn't really trying to hold it that hard. However, the daily is still looking good. So again, I think we can easily try and get some sort of breakthrough here, and once we do, then it will be easier to determine whether we can head up to these highs at like 38-40 cents. But yeah, overall the trade is risk free from here. We have our stops and take profit at roughly 10%, 8% profit. Next take profit level is at 52%, providing us 500 to 1,000% profit with leverage, and that's the trade we're going to ride out. So yeah, if you did enjoy the video, please make sure to like and subscribe. If you want to be getting trades sent to you every single day, then check out the Discord down below. If you need a place to buy, sell, or trade any sort of cryptocurrency for the lowest fees, then check out all the exchanges we're working with down below also. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye guys.